A rich life has nothing to do with money. Our grandfather always told us that to be truly rich is to have a tree full of avocados. Yay! 60 years ago, he and our grandmother came to this patch of earth and planted thousands of trees, beginning the immense food forest that spreads across the jungle and hillsides.
They say that anything worth having is hard to keep.
Now, as we eat from these trees planted all those years ago, we understand the wisdom of our grandfather's words. So, we have decided to dedicate our lives to caring for these trees and the land, just as our parents and grandparents did before us.
Of what love is supposed to be.
We've planted hundreds of trees and try to grow as much of our own food as possible. Our dream is to be able to feed ourselves and our community, and this purpose, although simple, has filled our lives with meaning. Winter brings custard apples, avocados, loquats, jackfruit, hog plums, kiwis, lemons, berries, and mandarins. The ripening fruit are always reminders of how to care timelessly, of how, from a few small seeds, a forest can grow.
Is it too heavy? Yeah, I can take one side.
When citrus season comes, we always have so many oranges, lemons, and mandarins that we invent hundreds of new, amazing ways to cook with them. I always think that nothing symbolizes a sunny winter's day more than the smell of peeling a mandarin.
When I don't know where they will lead.
Each day we are trying to get a little more self-sufficient, so we always feel so proud finding ways to make something new from our produce. It always pushes our creativity. It's almost like the trees become a recipe book with hidden methods inscribed in their abundance. And instead of a mandarin being shipped all around the world and stored for months, we feel so lucky to taste its fullness plucked straight from the tree. It means that our meals are constantly changing too. Each season, one fruit tree stops fruiting, but another begins to blossom. We savour the taste of citrus in the winter, and delight in the sticky, thirst-quenching mangoes in the summer. Our favourite part of growing our own food, though, is that we know exactly how and where it is grown. Food production is so full of chemical fertilizers, preservatives, and farming practices that are just terrible for us and the earth. So, when we pick something from a tree that was planted by our grandparents, cared for by our parents, fertilized by the sheep, and kept weed-free by the goats, we feel so privileged. We see how lucky we are to be surrounded by fresh food everywhere. Many stories of our parents, our grandparents, and the forests of fruit trees are actually documented in our book. We write a lot about seasonal food, tropical fruit, the beauty of planting a tree, and many personal stories of life here. We were so grateful to everyone who pre-ordered last week. This really means so much to us. And if you haven't yet, you can follow the link in the description. The sheep have lived here in the forest with us for a long time. They know the rambling orchards even more than we do. We always know that if we follow the herd of sheep with their tails waggling, they will lead us to whatever tree is fruiting.
You want to go that way. I think we go that way. Come on.
At the moment, they are obsessed with kiwi fruit. Some people question why we have sheep in the orchards. These cheeky rascals eat so much fruit straight from the tree. But the truth is that they give so much back. They eat the fallen fruit before it rots, so it doesn't attract fruit flies or fruit bats. Their manure also fertilizes the soil, but my favorite reason is just to see the joy as they bounce around their fruit kingdom.
He's such a round sheep.
I think we all need to live like a sheep, to eat fruit straight from trees, to bounce with joy everywhere we go, to sleep in the sun, and to learn to live with nature's systems, always giving back.
My brother, you can stay anytime that you like. My brother, take your time. Ain't no rush in this life. My brother, you can come as your truck passes by.
Sorry, lanky boy.
Put some food on your
Okay, let's do sap it for a bit.
I'm making sure that all of the sap is gone before we pack it into the basket, because this sap, I think it's even used as glue in different places in the world, so you don't want it to stick all over you. It's very intense. I don't think the sap would taste very good.
Brother Jimmy, where do you ride tonight? Brother Jimmy, far and out of sight.
This is Black Sapodi, the sheep, and he's a very special, friendly boy. He just loves pats so much, and we think it's because when he was a tiny baby, he got stuck in a fence just here, actually, and we got him out of the fence, and he almost didn't survive. I think if he was there a little bit longer, he wouldn't have made it. And he's even still got the scar on his back where you can see where the wire was wrapped around him. And I think he's just really thankful for it, because ever since, he just loves humans. He loves them so much, doesn't he? Yeah.
On the things that you do.
Jackfruit takes a lot of processing, but it's always so worth it. We can't wait until it's time to eat it. I think we're going to make tacos.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Brother Jimmy, where do you ride tonight? Brother Jimmy, far and out of sight.
We grew up under these fruit trees, and our earliest memories are harvesting fruit from the vines to take to the markets and sell with our parents. It's our dream to start doing this again, and there is something so special about sharing organic food with the community. First wild raspberry of the season. For years though, the orchards have been super overgrown. We haven't had time for big harvests, and instead we've just eaten it all ourselves or given it to neighbours. While we still have a lot of work to do, especially in this kiwi orchard where the structures are falling down because we haven't pruned the fruit, because we keep missing the small window between when they're fruiting and when they blossom for next year. You can get overwhelmed thinking of all the work you need to do, but instead just getting in there and doing small things and seeing the progress, even if it's just the slightest, that just makes us feel so proud. And today, we're picking lots of kiwi fruit and we're going to take them into our local town to share them with our community. We treasure these afternoons, spending hours with each other doing these menial tasks. This really feels like a big moment. We keep thinking back to us as little kids, running around this orchard or playing in our kiwi cart, harvesting fruit with our family. We think back to the dreams of our grandparents and parents over the last 60 years, and we just feel so excited. Growing all of our own food would be a massive task, so what we love to do is to barter, swap, or trade for food. This is Karen, who started the Paddock Project, an amazing local community farm doing really incredible things. Through chemical-free, syntropic principles, they grow fresh produce that nourishes the local community. They employ and train people with disabilities and help them develop a range of skills and experiences. It's so inspiring here. Seeing all the work that they do always gets us excited to go home and garden. Today we're swapping our kiwi fruit for some fresh produce picked straight from the garden. This is always our favourite place to shop. It feels amazing, not only to just buy such fresh, delicious food, but also to give back to the community by supporting them. It always makes us remember the importance of how we spend our money. We can either support massive supermarkets who exploit people, animals, and the land, or we can support small businesses who are doing inspirational things for the community. Their gardening follows syntropic practices, imitating the natural way that a forest grows. A key characteristic of a syntropic farm is that a wide variety of plants with all different lifespans and light requirements are planted at a very high density, just as you would see within a rainforest. Because there are so many different plants all working together, they produce a continual harvest of vegetables, fruits, herbs, and flowers. We are so inspired to plant a garden at home following the same practices. We live on the lands of the Arakwal and Minjungbal People of the Bundjalung Nation. We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the country that we live on and recognise their continuing connection to the land and waters. We thank them for protecting this rainforest and its ecosystem since time immemorial. Custard apples are probably our favourite winter fruit. The ones grown here in Australia are actually unique from any others in the world.
Whoa.
They are a combination of a couple of species from South America, and their sweet flesh is so flavoursome. But their seeds are actually super toxic and can't be eaten without serious health effects. Tropical fruits are so amazing. Each one tastes entirely different and can be used for so many different things. But we are always looking for new recipes, so if you have any ideas, please let us know. We love how the seasons shape our diets. Each shifting day, it feels like we discover a different recipe or a new way to eat a fruit.
At least from what I can tell, all you are and all you were is just a droplet in the well. I just want to remain like a scar on your hand, running deep to never fade, never covered by another man. I never
Food waste is never really waste. The goats always think it's the best treat in the world, and they all fight over it. Otherwise, we make compost or give it to the chickens. There's always a use for everything. Our grandparents and parents planted so many avocado species, experimenting with which ones grow best in this climate. We have fuertes, shepherds, hass, and charwell. This also means that each tree ripens at a different time, so we get avos all the way from April till October. I honestly think that no matter how many avocados we have, we could always use all of them. There's always something you can put avocado in.
Will I be up on a wall, or just a picture in a drawer? Will I be left in the dark, never sure what I was for? I never wanna go away.
want one, Julie?
Yes, please.
Loquats taste almost like a peach, but a bit more citrusy.
One from the...
When we were kids, our mum would make the best loquat jam. We found out recently that they are actually an invasive weed here, but they have been growing here for many years and they haven't spread, so for now we're just keeping a close eye on them and trying to research it a little more.
There we go.
The goat's role here definitely helps with this. Invasive species are something that we struggle with. There are always a lot of weeds that thrive in this subtropical climate, but the goats really help because they love the taste of them. They spend their days wandering the paddocks, finding weeds and eating all of them. It's so amazing to see the work that they do and the change that has happened since we got them. Although it's not all easy. Goats are such characters, and for some reason they have decided that they love avocado leaves, which are super poisonous to them. 3 times now they have found a tree, eaten a lot of leaves and made themselves really sick. You would think that they would learn their lesson the first time, but these cheeky rascals just keep eating them. We don't really know what to do since most of the paddocks have avocado trees, so for the past few weeks we've just stopped letting them in here. But this is our first test again, and so far they haven't eaten any leaves, so hopefully we can start letting them in here again.
So cool. Our neighbour, who's a tree lover, came and helped us fell these big camphor laurel trees, which are a really invasive weed here. And one problem we always have is that when you cut them down, they always reshoot so quickly and just take over again. But since we've had the goats in this paddock, they love eating all the new shoots. So you can see here, it's tried reshooting and then all the little tops have been nibbled off by the cheeky little goats. That's incredible, Miss Magnolia. That's for me and Bobby. No.
Haven't seen you in a while. Wonder if you got yourself a brand new style, and I hope you are happy, and I hope you're smiling back at me. I was thinking, I know it's tough.
Thanks for watching, and if you can support us by pre-ordering our book, where we share all about our life here in the rainforest. The music in this video is by Jordan Prince, and you can find his links in our description too. Thanks always to our special community of patrons.
Have you wisdom or some advice?
Come on, everybody!
How'd you get through all the times throughout your life? How'd you show you were happy? How'd you know to keep on smiling?